G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well, today we're going to have a look at quantum eraser. And by we, I mean myself and Professor Phil Bell. Well, quantum eraser, he brought his own special brand of scientific denial and derp to the table, and he was having a go at conspiracy cats. Well, we didn't want to let that go by without having at least a word or two to say about it. Well, I guess I'll let Professor Phil Bell take it away.
Well, hello folks. So Wally from Where's Wally's invited me to do a piece on some garbage published by a flat earther calling himself Quantum Eraser. I guess you all know who that is. Now I was quite happy to oblige and help him stick it to that galah, who's the apparent pope of flat earth knowledge. And flatties flock to him for their talking points and the latest nonsense. Now, I have no problem with that. All religions and all cults have their gurus. But for me, this guy is just a garden variety grifter. Only this time, he's crossed the line. He's been going after an actual teacher with his scam and bullshit. And to be honest, I would have no problem if he just stated his dumbass position like Earth is flat, space is fake, but instead, he decided to get clicks by denigrating a teacher. And most teachers are heroes in my book. So, let's listen to the dumb shit from this grifter.
So, Mr. Magoo, Conspiracy Cats, you heard of the thermosphere by chance? Temps can reach better than 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit there. The gas molecules are gaining energy, son.
Oh man, QE, you are an absolute dumbass. 5 years at this, and you still don't know that the temperature in the thermosphere applies to individual particles of gas. And as you can see from this graph, there are hardly any of these particles to speak of. Take a look at the density. It's almost zero. Take a look at the pressure. It's almost zero. It tells us that there's hardly any particles of gas there. So even if a few particles of gas have energy, it's still cold around them, dumbass. You need stuff in there to heat up. And of course, most of Earth's atmosphere is not in the thermosphere. It's below the thermosphere. So Conspiracy Cats is correct. It's you who's the idiot. So listen up, Flurfs. When QE and Oakley bang on about the second law of thermodynamics, ask them how come entropy fails to make the high pressure on the ground rush to the low pressure at the top of a mountain or in the stratosphere. You know what? Here's why you don't have the stones to ask them. Because they will shout at you. They'll call you names. They'll insult you, and then they'll ban you from engaging on their site. And of course you don't want that, do you? Your flat earth identity is everything. Okay, seriously, you don't need this nonsense to feel special. Here's a good way. Grab yourself a nice tall Bundy and Coke. That'll do the trick. Cheers.
Well, thanks very much for that, Phil. Very well said. Now, quantum eraser, your item 4. Let me have a go at that.
Number 4. If gravity affected gas molecules, it would never frigging rain. Duh! See the water cycle.
Quantum eraser, item 4. Let me tell you just where you went wrong here. Well, it's easily stated like this. Moist air, go up, make storm, go boom boom. Isn't that really easy? So I guess you didn't really look at the water cycle, even though you said you should have a look at the water cycle. Seems you didn't. Well, quantum eraser, what you didn't do, which I did do, I actually went and did some research to find out exactly why moist air rises make storm goes boom boom. It turns out that moist air is actually lower density than dry air. Now who would have thought? Here, let me explain why this is. Well, this shows that the density of air at any given temperature, pressure and volume, so if we keep those the same, so the density of the air is inversely proportional to the relative humidity. So it's because of gravity that moist air rises, and we have rain. Did you even bother to look at the water cycle? I don't see how you're going to recover from this embarrassment, Mr. Quantum Eraser.
Holy shnikes, this is gonna leave a mark.
Oh, Mr. Quantum Eraser, you really have shot your credibility in this one, haven't you? Just one simple statement.
If gravity affected gas molecules, it would never frigging rain.
You know, when someone tells you something and they sound so confident, well, it's a bit like that guy at the start of the show here, I think his name's Nathan, was telling you how loud airplanes are.
Totally off topic word of warning to anybody who's flying frequently.
Yeah, go ahead.
The noise level on a plane is over 100 decibels, right? And it's full range.
Yeah, I don't believe that either, Kiwi. Go on, ask Nathan for a citation.
The full audible spectrum, every single frequency that you can hear,
Really?
is
Okay, this is going to be great. Kiwi is skeptical too. This will be great.
created on a flight, and it's over 100 decibels. If you're ever doing a flight that's more than an hour, you should absolutely get ear protection, because it will and can and does damage your hearing. So,
Really?
Look, Kiwi's getting ready. He's going to slap.
and does damage your hearing. So,
Really?
especially long haul flights, you should protect your ears. Just a word to the wise.
I didn't know that.
Oh, Kiwi, you just stood there, mouth wide open, unblinkingly looking into Nathan's eyes, while he said, "Did you enjoy the taste of my not-so-unvalidated claims?" So, Kiwi, why are you sucking up to Nathan so hard?
I think that'll impress Nathan.
And it's over 100 decibels.
So, Nathan, you said 100 decibels when really it's more like 80, so you're only about 25% too much. Oh, well, you crack me up. Oh, audio jokes are as easy as falling off a log, and maths jokes are tight. He's not even right about that, by the way, but he's telling you how loud jet planes are inside, and you're all believing him. And what if he then said, you know, the loudest time is when they start flapping their wings to take off? Well, you know, that's really wrong, so don't you, think everything else he said is probably highly questionable? Questionable education. I think that's what we're getting from you, Kiwi.
Mr. Conspiracy Cats. I could take a look at the circumstances, who he is, what his education level is, and try to put it together at least a little bit, mainly because he knows his subscribers are basically have zero science acumen and they're illiterate, so he can get away with this. So that one, no. We flowed straight and level. That's a pretty thick cloud deck. And then when we bursted through the clouds, you're dead. DED, brother. I always say this, right? Just let them open up their incoherent pie holes, right? And they'll do your work for you. Holy shnikes, this is going to leave a mark.
Okay, well, enough of poking Kiwi. Oh, who am I kidding? We've got more yet. Moist air, go up, make storm go boom boom. Why is moist air less dense than dry air? Well, it's really simple, barely an inconvenience. Let's have a look at the chemistry. Air is 21% oxygen, 78% nitrogen, and a few other bibs and bobs like argon and carbon dioxide thrown in there just for fun. You agree with that? I'm sure you do. And I'm sure you will agree that PV equals nRT, the ideal gas equation, is a thing. Yes? Of course you do. So from that we know that for any given pressure and temperature and volume, so if we keep those three the same, the number of molecules inside that volume is exactly the same, regardless of what type of gas is in there. So that means if we add water vapour into this given volume, we have to kick out some oxygen and nitrogen to do that. Now, atmospheric oxygen, O2, is 2 oxygen atoms. They have an atomic mass of roughly 16, so 2 times 16 gives a molecular mass of 32. Similarly for nitrogen, it's a diatomic molecule, has 2 nitrogen atoms, each roughly 14. That gives a molecular mass of 28. Now water, H2O. That is 2 times 1 plus 16, only 18. So 18 is always less than 32 or 28, correct? That means the lighter ones are kicking out the heavier ones, so the average overall density of that volume will be less. Same number of molecules, same volume, same temperature, same pressure, lower density. Too easy. Now part 6.
Interesting. Number 6, listen to this closely. From Introductory Chemistry again, Open Text BC. The average kinetic energy of gas particles is proportional to the absolute temperature of the gas. And all gases at the same temperature have the same average kinetic energy. Duh. So, Mr. Magoo, conspiracy cats, you heard of the thermosphere by chance? Temps can reach better than 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit there. The gas molecules are gaining energy, son. Gaining.
The temperature at that great height is actually that high, no problem. But QE, you missed one thing. Just how many molecules are there at that height? Let's have a look at this simple observation that gives us a clue to just how many. MAGE 2, I'm sure you're familiar with it. Well, that measured the atmospheric pressure all the way from the ground up to 38 kilometres up. And by that stage, almost all of it was gone. It was less than 1%, 0.3% actually. And that was measured and observed, no questions asked. So, if we want to go 10 times higher to the thermosphere, what do you reckon? It's going to be 3/5 of 0.3% of SFA by this stage. So there's going to be so little molecules in the thermosphere, those few that are there can be moving really fast, which means they're a really high temperature. But now, to escape Earth, a molecule has to gain a speed that is greater than the escape velocity, and it has to be in a direction that is substantially away from the Earth, and it has to not hit any other molecules on its odyssey away. Despite this, about 80 tons of atmosphere a day manages to make the escape from Earth. Now, occasionally a molecule can get enough energy from energetic particles from the Sun. Now, if you doubt that there are energetic particles around at that level, here is a video of the ISS in orbit, and it's travelling through an area of the Earth where the Van Allen belts are hanging down low enough that the ISS passes through them. This little region is called the SAA, or the South Atlantic Anomaly, and sometimes it can be very spectacular watching the cosmic particles flickering and interfering with the camera. Very pretty. So there we have it. I think Quantum Eraser, you have proved yourself to be full of derp yet again. And it doesn't look like Conspiracy Cats has anything to worry about. You guys better go back to school.